The Mick.
Uh-huh.
You invented the Mick, the staple,
Ye-
one of the staples of jump rope. You were the first person to create it and coin it, and boom, there it is.
Yeah, yep.
How did that come into
Um,
existence?
so yeah, so it was 2004. Summer camps used to be a huge thing in jump rope, and there's still summer camps that are going on, but back when it was sort of like just USA jump rope in the US, we would have Southern camp, there would be Northern camp, there would be like all these camps all over, and mostly during the summer. And so it was always a big deal. And 2004 was the very first year that I got, asked to go to Southern camp. It was in Huntsville, Texas, I think.
Were you
And
staff?
yeah, I was staffing that year. I had staffed a couple years prior at like other camps. Like I grew up in Ohio, I was on the Heartbeats, and a lot of those camps were in Indiana. I think a couple were in Ohio. So I'd done those, but this was the first time I'd gotten asked to go to Southern camp, and was like really psyched and just really excited to go out there and meet all these people. I'd met like Nick and Jeff Moss and Tyler Perez and all these people, but had never really gotten to spend a ton of time with them, just hanging out and coming up with new stuff. So I think probably it was probably the first day. Everyone's around. We've got stuff to do. People are like we've got orientation to go through and a staff show to be working on. But the best thing is always just kind of the downtime because it's never really downtime. It's always like, all right, get your rope. We're going to see what we can come up with. And so we were all just kind of messing around, and like the basic movement of the Mick, that sort of that spinning motion, that's kind of been around. Like that's something I think originally came from rhythmic gymnastics, but the idea of the release point and the catch came originally from the first trick actually being the Mick TJ. So before there was a Mick, it was actually just the Mick TJ. And I chose
Hold on
Mick.
a second. You're
Yeah.
telling me you did a Mick into a TJ first before a regular Mick?
Yeah.
Dude, that's ridiculous. That's why you're a legend. Oh my gosh.
Um, well, we were kind of messing around with it because I had seen people doing, again, like seen people doing the basic motion of it. I know I'd seen Nick kind of playing around with it. Tyler Perez had it down. Jeff was doing some stuff with it. So we're all just kind of playing around and just trying to come up with stuff. So I was like, well, what if? And honestly, this is always how like jump rope tricks and new ideas come about. It's always like, well, what if I do this? What if I add a frog to this? What if I add another rotation? What if I do it backwards? And so we were kind of just talking. We are like, well, what if we add a TJ to this? So, so I tried the original Mick TJ came from, it was a 360. And then as you're backwards, you put one hand behind your back, and that would become the hand that goes on top.
Mm-hmm.
So usually the Mick, you're facing forward the entire time. For the Mick TJ, you start backwards, put your back arm hand on top of the spinning hand, you release, and then I just put it into a TJ. So I was the first person to get the Mick TJ, and then very shortly after, probably within a minute or so, Nick got the first Mick AS, Jeff Moss did the first Mick Jami, Tyler Perez did the first Mick CL, and it was pretty
Dude,
wild. We were just messing around with it.
that is
Yeah,
amazing.
it was a good time.